Do we need an Ood companion? Hell yeah. Hello guys, welcome back to New Who HQ. I am Matt, and today I'm going to be answering the question of, is it time for an alien companion? Yes, I'm going to be going into small details about the past and what we have sort of had as a alien, as a companion, what we've had in New Who, etc., and then what it would mean for the show and how what would it be like if we had an alien companion. Technically, the first non-human companion was Susan, the granddaughter of the first Doctor, because she is Gallifreyan. So straight away the first Doctor. But I mean, we're talking back in the 60s here, and it isn't really sort of it's still a human form, which I do get. Obviously, the Doctor's an alien, he also has a human form, but I'm looking for more like a Ood, for example, sort of vibe of a look. You also had Adric, who came from another universe, and Romana, who was a Time Lady. She joined the fourth for the Key to Time season, originally played by Mary Tam. She regenerated and Lalla Ward took over, starring in Destiny of the Daleks. So we have had some examples. These are normally Time Lords or people from Gallifrey, but in terms of Classic Who, we've had quite we have had examples where people are not humans. You also cannot forget about K9, who is both Classic and New Who. When given an example here, obviously a tin dog, most definitely not a human. So moving into New Who, we've not had a full-time companion who is an alien, but I'm very aware that we have had side characters or side companions even who have been who are an alien and actually come from quite a villainous set of species. Strax, the Sontaran, and Madame Vastra, the Silurian. Now, those two came in a free group, which was obviously alongside Jenny as well, who was human, but you had those three together, and I think that's sort of where this question was starting to be asked, and people were starting to think a lot more, okay, we need to have more aliens or non-humans being in Doctor Who in a more companion sort of way, helping the Doctor. And Strax is a really interesting version because obviously also in New Who, Sontarans hate the Doctor. So you would think Strax or Sontaran working with the Doctor and becoming friends of him and bantering between each other wouldn't work. Now I do feel like that Matt Smith does fit Strax's character quite well, and that incarnation of the Doctor, they do bounce off each other quite well, and others probably not. Obviously we can't forget Capaldi did interact with Strax as well, and I quite liked his sort of blunt humour with him. I think with what we get with Strax there, and obviously Madame Vastra almost becomes like a really important part of Matt Smith's era at times as well. Working with a song, etc. In Good Man Goes to War, there are many good examples of this. But those two examples were not people. Sorry, they weren't people at all. Aliens that sticked around full time as a companion. Now, as we know, I do not want Ruby Sunday to leave. I'm sure she's going to be absolutely amazing, but she's another human, and I want to see an alien. And why? Let's think about what it would mean for the show. I think the first thing is different dynamics. Ruby is already being sort of compared and linked to sort of Rose, even Clara a little bit. So in a way, again, not faulting Ruby at all, and I've not seen her properly yet, but she feels a little bit like the same of what we had, and to use the word repetitive, I feel like it's quite mean on her, but that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting. About how many companions should we have, I think that should only be one or two. I think that's going to work fantastically, and I feel like Chibnall and Whittaker's era proved that free ruins basically any character development you want to try and create. So, free aliens wouldn't work, but maybe even a human and an alien, so you still get what we're used to, and you still get that sort of interaction. I guess people like to relate to people on Doctor Who. It's what makes characters so popular, is that, oh yeah, I can relate to them. David Tennant is the most human incarnation of the Doctor in my view. That's why people relate to him, which is why he's popular. With an alien, you get absolutely none of that. So that could prove obviously a different dynamic, but that could be a good thing being different with the Doctor at the same time, because say for example if the Daleks had one Dalek left, and I'm not going to go about the history of the Daleks because they die and they come back almost every season, so think about this as if it's don't think of the Doctor Who timeline and the history when I use this example, but imagine that there's only one Dalek left and it's lonely. I know it hasn't got feelings, it just wants to kill everyone, but imagine it, and imagine the Doctor, also the last of his kind, and those two coming together. Now, you've obviously got the fear, you've got the sort of awkwardness, but also the absolute no trust, because as a Dalek and a Time Lord, travelling together, that could prove really, really exciting interactions and could pay off to have really good character development within good reason that you make them friends in the end. So it's that sort of thing that will be so different than something the show hasn't really done in a long time, and you could introduce new aspects which have never been done on the show. That could be an idea. And yeah, in terms of like how much sense this makes total sense. And with the Time War, etc., and Eccleston and David Tennant, and that sort of leaked on for other Doctors, is that Earth to them is like their second home, which is fair enough because they've been through a lot, they've met a lot of people, a lot of their loved ones kind of live on Earth because Gallifrey is, a tricky place. So I would agree that Earth is very important to the Doctor's life. If he hangs around a lot more, he's more likely to end up travelling with someone from Earth, that's obvious. But he has travelled in all other places. If he was to stumble across another planet which he might like, or someone that just catches his eye and he's like, okay, not in a love way, don't get me into that. So as I said, someone who knows time and space so much and has been everywhere, you would think that it would be quite easy for him to pick up someone who is non-human, but at the same time he does spend a lot of his time on Earth, so picking up humans is kind of what the Time Lord does. So yeah, overall I think it'd be really, really exciting if they ever did it, and I definitely haven't got a problem with humans being used. I feel like human and sort of an alien would be quite good. I mean, as I said, we've had that with Capaldi and obviously with Smith as well. And Nardole as well, I wanted to quickly bring up. Now, I've been looking online because I wasn't sure myself, but Nardole I don't think is technically human. Obviously he gives off a sort of a human form and feels quite human at times, but he's also a robot, but I'm not quite sure. In terms of what I saw for Nardole, which best describes him, is a humanoid extraterrestrial being from the 54th century with cybernetic implants. Belonging to a humanoid colony on the planet Mendarax Delocra. So you have got him there as an example. I think we want a bit more alien. And you can see merit with obviously River Song and Captain Jack, who don't act very human at all. And obviously Jack's immortal and River Song's, don't know what River Song is, but definitely don't act like humans, and definitely don't, their things that happen in their life are not very, what wouldn't happen in a normal human life. And they're some of the most beloved characters in the show. So it shows that, there is a little bit of risk to it, but at the same time it's proven to work, so why not do it? But let me know what you think. Is it time for an alien companion? Drop your thoughts down in the comments, give this video a like if you are new, and please do subscribe, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Bye-bye.